Hi, I'm Ben Cook from the Little Gloucester, and today we're cooking on the Charnwood Haven cook stove. We have some delicious recipes here for you today. We're making some buttermilk pancakes with a seasonal fruit compote. So you start with two nice flat bits of wood at the bottom. Just out the butter. So we're going to make our delicious buttermilk pancakes. This is a super lovely recipe. So in here we have our white spelt flour and just normal plain flour. And the spelt flour gives it a nice little wholemeally type flavour. We've got some bicarbonate of soda and we've got some baking powder. And what we do is we sieve that with the flour so that you get a nice mixture through all of the flour. Now we're going to mix in some sugar just to make it sweet. You could use golden caster sugar. I'm just using a nice white sugar in this one. So we've got our lovely buttermilk. And now into there we're going to mix in a little bit of vanilla essence. For this recipe is that we separate the egg whites and we're almost going to make like a souffle type pancake. You can mix the wet mix together now just to break down the egg yolk. See how nice and creamy that is. And into this, I'm going to add a little bit more butter from our stove. We've got our melted butter. Add that to give that a nice mix through. And the buttermilk reacts with the baking powder and the bicarbonate soda, makes them really nice and light and fluffy. I'm going to mix through the dry ingredients as well, just make sure that's all nicely mixed through with the sugar. And you want to make sure that the test for the egg white is to pour them over your head. And if you can't pour them over your head, you whisk them enough. So I'm now mixing in the wet ingredients into the dry. And it's okay if it's a little bit lumpy because that helps to puff up the pancake. If you overmix them, they can get quite stodgy. And at this stage as well, you can use the whisk if you like, just to get that bit in. You can see it's starting to come together nicely and it's still light. You've got a bit of the fluffy egg whites and then the buttery, almost a bit knobbly, the batter. And then as that cooks, it gets really, it softens out as well. You need to let this rest for a minute, so it's a perfect opportunity to get the crepe pan on as the oven warms up as well. So you want to put a nice ladleful, just a small one. You don't want to make them too big because otherwise they can be a bit soggy in the middle. Also, I think it's lovely to have more and stack them up nice and high. The children particularly love it. And the trick with these pancakes as well is not to, can you see that I've got it on the right-hand side rather than the left-hand side, so not directly above the oven, so that you've just got that nice even cook. Sometimes if you use like a gas burner, you can get quite uneven pancakes, so this is a really nice way of making a nice even griddle. Okay, so just to be extra naughty, what we do now is I've melted some butter slowly on the stovetop and it's gone nice and brown, so we've got a nice sort of nutty butter. And just to finish these off, I just brush them a little bit. This is going back to my Scottish roots. Right, let's try these pancakes, see what they're like. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look how fluffy that is. They're so light, and the brown butter is a little bit nutty. And the vanilla comes through. Wow, that is a taste sensation, even if I don't say so myself. They are delicious, you have to try these.